Hello and welcome to day 5 of HyperMarket Simulator. Let's jump back in. And as you can see, it's the start of another new day. We're picking up exactly where we left off after the last playthrough. So let's get ourselves ready for business. Just to recap, we want to get ourselves to level 12 and to have enough money to spend $1,000 on a self-service till, and of course leave enough for us to stock up our shelves. So the t-shirts here, the striped tees, they're a really good seller. There's a nice profit margin, and so we keep an eye on them throughout the working day just so that we can stock up in real time. So we're still serving our customers. 50, how much? 32, 82. And I keep saying it in every video, but there must be some products that I've not rounded up there because we're getting some unusual values of change. So what we want to be able to do is make sure that we're not overpricing our products, but not spend masses of time counting out the change. So the customers won't leave if you don't serve them quickly enough, but obviously they can only put into the till money that you take from them. So it is important that we get through the customers fairly quickly. Once they can do the self-service, then that's fine. I've not yet seen what happens if the queues there are too long, because on previous playthroughs what I've tended to do is open up this till and do some service myself as well. So all transactions are cash based at the moment, no cards. I'm not sure whether that's on the roadmap just yet. I've not actually looked at that in any real detail, because this for me is a kind of pick up and play for about half an hour type of game, which is a nice option. 34.72. It's fairly chilled, so it's nice to have that kind of easygoing repetition, but also know that we're working towards improving our environment here and unlocking different options within the game. So by looking at the terminal and some of the options that will become available to us, we can get an idea for what we can unlock at this current version. And as I've said, the developers do seem to be really hands-on, actively doing updates as they go. So I don't know, I've not played through enough yet to know whether they're kind of general quality of life updates in terms of the interim patches. So that might be like, I don't know, like people clipping through each other and that sort of thing, rather than adding loads and loads of new content. But I could be wrong. There is certainly scope for that to expand quite considerably. And I'm really looking forward to having kind of different zones. 591. 90. Yeah, different zones and different product types, as you would expect in real life, I suppose. So we want 3310, 31, 2, 3, and I could give 10 cents there. So you can see there in the background that we can see our shelves kind of depleting a little bit. Now what seems to happen is they seem to have preferences as far as I can see. So if there are shirts on the shelves, then they'll buy them. And as we know, that is a good profit margin. But that means that the actual general stock, they don't seem to be buying as much of. So I think there's a balance there. Obviously, early game, we want to maximize our cash because we're going to need that to be able to expand. Because the gameplay mechanic is that you can purchase licenses, and that gives you the right to buy that range of products. But to be able to stock those products, you also need the right kind of environment. So you might need a freezer, you might need a fridge, and of course then there's the cost of buying them as well. So cash is king. As you can probably see in the top left, we can see our cash going up during the course of the day. We've sold through our t-shirts. So what I'm going to do is, because we're probably not going to reach level 12 in this in-game working day, is I'm not going to worry too much about restocking. I'm just going to try and sell through what we already have. What time are we on? So the in-game even time, we can see that in the top and middle of the screen. So we're only actually at 3 PM. So I'm going to step away for a second, and we've just gone up to level 11. You probably heard that public service announcement there. So let's try and see if we can push that up through t-shirt sales. So the deliveries are instant. The shelves are pre-labeled with whatever you stock there initially, and so you can only put the same type of product on that shelf unless of course you remove the label, which I kind of displayed in a previous video. So if you'd like to see that, then I can't remember the exact episode, but we are at episode 5 at the moment, and they all run in sequence. We built up a bit of a queue there, so let's try and get through this. So if for whatever reason it looks like you've scanned everything, like we saw there, but they're not offering up the cash, it's probably that there's something hiding behind the till there that you can't see very well. So it's useful to hold the L1 button down and go around that whole of the till environment, and that will automatically pick up everything. And that's also true of collecting the cash, rather than having to kind of wave your control around to the perfect level. Then you can hold it and it'll automatically grab it when you get in that region. £6.82. Thank you very much. Let's try and clear this queue before the end of the day. 151. Thank you for shopping with us. So yeah, in terms of having, as I said, not looked at any great detail on the roadmap, the things that I would like to see are, it would be nice if you could name your store. That would be nice to see outside. Sure, I'm no developer. Oh, that change amount is too low. So when you do accidentally try and shortchange someone, they will tell you all about it there, as you can see. If it's by too much, I'm not sure exactly what is too much. Sorry, I'm getting distracted again while I try and multitask. I'm failing. Everything is just fine, thank you, ma'am. So 20, 32. Let's try and get a bit of speed up here. Yeah, so the name being outside of your shop would be great. And there just seems to be, as I've probably said in other videos, an enormous amount of scope for this. So you could get into kind of more detailed staff management and satisfaction kind of mechanics. You could have that with your customers as well, where they'd be more attracted to, you know, well decorated zones or areas where there's, you know, better flow through in terms of layout. There is, I believe at the moment already, the option to create an office and potentially a staff room, but there's no real kind of mechanics behind that, certainly at this stage anyway. I'm not sure whether that is on the roadmap for the future. but it does provide a satisfying gameplay loop that's going to progress at a fairly decent pace. So at the moment we are focusing on the service aspects and just kind of restocking out of hours, and then that's going to progress to trying to keep those shelves stocked throughout the working hours and people hopefully mostly self-serving. It'd be lovely if we could get ourselves up to level 12 in this episode, because then that means we've reached our first kind of milestone of getting that self-service till, and that means that I can kind of cover a different approach to the game. No change needed there, thank you. We've only got 2 customers left, so I'm not sure we're going to get there in this playthrough. And that's why at the moment I'm not using that cash to go in and expand my product range or to buy any more shelves or anything like that. Because you can expand really quickly. It's only $250 and it's available at quite a low level. But as you can see, we're already struggling to kind of maintain 2 shelves there. So I'd rather work towards that self-service. Our last customer of the day, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1 cent. Thank you very much. First thing I'm going to do, because I keep mentioning it in my videos, is see what I haven't rounded up. So we got eggs are a nice round $5, cereal $7.50, chips $5, $4.90. We can't really round that up to $5, $2.50, $3.70. The teas, so this is where we are giving those 1 cent. So we could just literally round that up to 26 to make our life easier. And that actually changes any associated products. That's good. Frozen didn't do a very good job actually of keeping an eye on that throughout the day, because again we could have stocked that up during the working day. So we're not quite at level 12, so we can't yet get our self-service desk. So what we'll do then is a little bit of rinse and repeat here, is that I think we've got enough products there on our shelves for another sales day. So rather than spending money getting those all fully stocked and looking pretty, we'll keep hold of our cash and just restock the stuff that we've run out of completely. So let's grab our frozen goods, 1 of each, because if we buy more than we can put in the freezer, they will defrost and turn bad, and then we'll have to chuck them. That's a lost profit. So let's stock that. There we go, that's good. We'll always spend a couple of $100 on those t-shirts as well, just to keep our cash flow healthy. And then that should leave us around the $2,000 mark there, which sets us up nicely for another day of sales, following which we can get our self-service terminal. We'll get 2 of the charcoal, and then what I plan to do is just make the space more kind of visually appealing. Not that I'm not sure that that has a direct impact on the sales, as I've said, but it just makes it a nicer environment. Grab our other t-shirts. I think we might be able to, because I've been trying to keep the videos to around about half an hour. I think we can probably squeeze in another quick sales day. So let's finish up for the day. And as you can see, we didn't have much in the way of expenses there, so we've made a nice profit for that day. Okay, so let's open up for the next working day. A fresh new dawn. So yeah, that's the scope of what we can expand into, which is huge. And we've set up our existing space at the moment for efficiency, so we can keep an eye on our stock and order things with relative ease there, because the terminal's just there. It's not picking up. I may have mentioned in other videos that my partner is also a gamer, and she's got quite a few more hours than myself in the game, so I have been able to get a kind of look into the future. And actually I like that the mechanics change, because that keeps it nice and exciting. So she is now at the point where she's got a little office. She's unlocked, I think, the entire building that has shutter doors, and so in the kind of corridors at the back has got racking systems, which I believe you can also put air conditioning units in, so that the frozen stuff can be stored if it can't be immediately stocked without it ruining. And then there is a whole team of stockers that basically means that she can go around the store looking for things that are low on stock and using a handheld scanner to restock it. So moving much more towards the kind of inventory management aspects of things. And then with a nice healthy amount of cash, she's been able to go around and change the store layout as well.
Thank you for shopping with us.
Level 12 we got there. So that means we'll be able to round this video off. Although I've labelled them as days, as you'll see in this video, we have gone into 2 working days, but that was just so that we could get to a point, because we actually were able to get through the sales day quite quickly and not have the video entirely taken up with the end of day stuff, all the restocking stuff. So that should get us nicely back onto track. 92.40.
How's everything?
Oh, t-shirts. To get back into that loop of restocking and doing a day's sales per episode without them being massively long. So we are currently at just 11:38 AM. So what I'm going to do is, because we know we can now afford a self-service till, I'm not going to purchase it now and install it, but I will just keep a little eye on our frozen goods, because we can't see that from here.
How's your day going?
Day's going very well, thank you. Oh, that's too much. Looks like we've still got frozen stuff because people are still buying it. And although it would be nice to keep that nice and stocked up all the time, I'm not going to worry too much about it at the moment. But we have sold through our t-shirts again, so we'll just serve this lovely lady here, and then we will restock that. Just bear with me a second. the good old charcoal striped tees. So they are the cheapest of the t-shirts, and I think they have the highest profit margin. I haven't really gone into masses of detail looking at what that is. So there is scope there as well to tweak that, to change your resale price as long as it's not massively over the market value. So I think then people don't... Oh, dropped it there instead of stacking. Oh, I meant to put all those on one shelf, but never mind. I'm sure by the end of today we'll have sold them. We're at roughly about 3 PM. We got a bit of a queue there, which is going to stop people coming into the store, I think. So let's get this moving. Uh, 46, 6. Not the most efficient at giving the change there. So generally speaking, as I say, graphically, you know, they're not going for hyper realism here, but there's quite a varied amount of character models.
The staff is friendly here.
I haven't seen any real stutter, any performance issues, and it's going to be interesting actually once you get into the sheer scale of that entire building, just how that works out, because that's a lot going on in that space.
Lovely weather, isn't it?
And then of course you've got your stockers as well to add into that. Shooting around the store and refilling shelves. Whilst we're in a bit of a quiet period, I'll again just say a huge thank you to anybody that is watching these videos. It is a hobby channel ultimately, where I'm recording something that I already enjoy, but it's nice to know that it reaches an audience.
I like the music in here.
I enjoy a wide range of games, and so if you've got anything you'd recommend, then do pop that down in the comments. Or equally, if you pick this game up yourself, any feedback, any comments in there that you think I might be interested in, I will read them. I'll read them all, and I will also respond. So the thumbs up if you haven't got time to type out a loving comment about how much you've thoroughly enjoyed my dulcet tones, then a thumbs up is just as gratefully received. And if you hit the subscribe button, then that looks good on the graph that I get from my channel, and hopefully gets me further up that search engine on on YouTube. It's quite sad when you search for something that has pretty much your own channel name in, and you're not the first not the first result that comes up. And then even to the point where I searched specifically for HyperMarket Simulator, and Supermarket Simulator results came up before my humble channel. So you can help me become popular. And of course, hitting the subscribe button means that you can easily look for various types of content that you might be interested in. I know I certainly do that, is that we have quite a range of types of videos that we watch, and it's nice to get either be able to go onto the channel and see what's new, or if it's something that's kind of a weekly episode or something like that, that we get a little notification that there's a new video for us. Okay, we have pretty much reached the end of the working day here. There shouldn't be any more customers coming in. Our bank balance is looking
Store level
pretty
upgraded.
healthy,
Thank you for shopping with
and
us.
we know that we've reached the reputation level. $5 to be able to get that precious self-service till. I'd be interested to know in the comments, how far have you got into the game? What's been your approach? Is there anything that you'd recommend that would help? See, my videos are captured in real time, so we're focusing primarily on early game stuff, but what's been your experience? Did you jump into this early? You've seen lots of changes and improvements?
I enjoy coming here.
Are you mid-game? Have you got a huge empire? And what would you like to see? Where do you think the game could go? What are the bits that you enjoy or think would add to the experience? No change required. How many have we got? 1910. Just the cereal for you, sir. 35. And last but by no means least, $2.60. Thank you. Okay, so our shelves are looking a little bit bare. Our freezer, I would expect, is completely empty. Yes, t-shirts fully sold through. We got a nice healthy bank balance of somewhere in the region of 3,500. So let's head over to the terminal, and what I'll do is I'll get that ordered, get it placed in our shop, and then I will end this particular episode with that, and then we'll carry on with the restocking at the start of the next episode, so that we can start with restocking the store and a full working day. So as with the till there, we want to place this so that we can have a nice orderly queue, and they can buy the stuff and get on with their day. So I'm trying to think which way. If I place this down there, so the queue goes that way. So I think what I'll do is I'm just going to rotate this 1 second, so that we have a nice efficient layout. So the grid lines help make sure that it all lines up nicely, and there we are. We have got ourselves a till, a self-service till, and ultimately what we're going to do is, once we expand the initial expansion, this wall will go back a little bit. Let's just have a look outside the store. I think that's right to say. Yeah, so it'll go back around about that depth, which means that ultimately we're not going to need this till to be operational at all. We can turn it on and off during the day by the square button, so that people won't queue up if it's closed, so you don't have to worry about building up lines. So yeah, ultimately we can almost dispense with that completely. So what I'd plan to do is this bit, once it opens up, would become more of a kind of admin stroke office type area, where we'd move the till just so that it's out the way, potentially get another self-service till just to keep a nice flow through of traffic, and then get ourselves some racking and whatnot along there, so that we can prepare for paid staff to restock our shelves and start filling out our store with a nice layout. I don't want to expand too quickly because I don't want it to be a massive expand, so it is good to see what you can unlock, and as I said earlier in the video, I've managed to see that via my partner's playthrough. So that gives me a bit of an indication as to how I want to progress through the game. And hopefully that's been the same for you. By watching these videos, you can kind of get a feel for the game and how to, the hints and tips early game. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.